Okay, hello everybody. I am mostly bouncing today. I have started on a core exercise program which involves I actually feel a bit seasick now, which involves a ball, one of those ball things, and I can't, like, there are people who can stay on this ball for like 5 minutes. I can't stay on the ball for 5 minutes to improve your core. And so I'm trying to sit on it as I work today in order to improve my core. I don't think this is going to work, but it did lead me to think of something to talk to you about today. But before we do that, and before I fall off this ball, what's happening this week in Club Soda? We have a blog today about alcohol and infertility and one woman's experience of that. It's amazing to listen to, to read, so do that. We've got our Ask Drew as normal on Wednesday, and on Friday our podcast is with the founders of Positive Planners, who are people who create books for you to begin to put your life plan or to do your journaling in, and Drew had a great conversation with them, so do look out for that content this week. We may also be having a promotion with Tanqueray 0000. I should have got the bottle for you. So Tanqueray Gin have brought out a new alcohol-free gin, which is really exciting, and we might have some stuff about that this week. So do look out for all of that stuff on joinclubsoda.com. We've also got one place on our workshop left this Friday. It's a workshop for anyone who's unsure on what to do next. If you've taken a break or been doing a period of moderation and not sure where to go, how to set your plans for the future. So again, have a look at that on joinclubsoda.com. There's one place left in that workshop. There were workshops on both Friday and Saturday this week. So what to talk to you about today. As I told you, I've been doing my core program, and I'm doing the Dame Kelly Holmes Military in Motion Trooper program because I'm still trying to keep motivated on exercise, and I realise very much that I need to have different and new things to keep stimulating me, unsurprisingly, like all of us. But I was thinking this week, I can't stay on this ball, right? She makes us do planks and crunches and kneel on the ball upright and stay on it for as long as we can. But every time I fall off that ball, what Kelly says to me is, okay, now stop, reset, and start again. And what I've been thinking of today is the fact that there is one vital skill for any behaviour change that you want to do, and that includes changing your drinking or a diet or exercise or any of those things. And it's that ability that when you stop, however it is, whether it's just falling off a ball in that immediate second, or whether it's because, like me on Sunday, you had a whole packet of lint balls when that's definitely not in the diet plan, or you've ended up drinking when you didn't plan to. When you stop the thing that you're doing, the most vital skill is about how you stop, reset, get a plan in place, and then start again. Now, for falling off a ball, that's about, getting your body back in the right position, making sure your legs and your core are strong, and then getting back into position. And in fact, if you just jump back in and try and get into position try and do it again without resetting your position, then you're more likely to fail. I've learned that the hard way. I've fallen on my face several times here. But there's something very fundamental about that, which is you're not just going, right, I'm going to pick myself up, dust myself down and get started again. I'm going to create the right conditions based on what I already know about myself in order to do a longer sprint this time, to do longer holding on to that ball, to do longer hanging on to the goal that I have in future. And that's worked the same for me on diet. That can work the same for you on changing your drinking. So what does that really mean in practice? Well, first of all, remember that every time that you may not have stuck to your goal, that something's gone wrong, that you've gone off piece slightly, you learn something. You learn something about what triggers you. You learn something about yourself. You learn something about your environment or about how you are as a person. And that information is vital. So when you look to reset, And I always encourage you to do that as quickly as possible. Some of you may know that, you know, if you think you failed at changing your drinking habits, what you end up doing is hitting it even harder than before, or you end up drinking as if somebody's going to take away all the alcohol in the world from you, because you know basically you have to start again at some point. So you may as well get as much down your throat as possible before you have to do that. My advice is always to pick up as quickly as possible, but not without doing some planning first, not without getting yourself in the best condition possible to change your drinking. So that might mean on the day that you've got your hangover and you're going, shit, I've really fucked this up, you just take some time that day. Rather than planning that day, you take some time for yourself, be kind to yourself, treat yourself well, put some nutrients back in your body, drink lots of water, do the things that you need to do on a hangover, and decide that the next day you will then create the foundation for your next sprint, that you will take everything that you've learned, do some reflecting, and then create a plan, and then get back on that ball, basically. So being in the right frame of mind is a really important part of that skill of resilience, getting back on track, picking up again where you left off. So, you know, do some reflection, spend some time thinking about what it is that you need to do better. So for the immediateness of falling off this ball, I have to think about where I put my legs, check that my legs are straight and long and that I'm holding my core in, because I know that will give me the best chance of staying on that ball for longer. When it comes to changing your drinking, you may decide that you need to plan something that will distract you from that trigger. So if, for example, you got to the end of the week and you really felt like you needed to celebrate the weekend, that end of the work week, and that's when you failed, then you need to find something to put in that place. What would be a good treat for you next week on Friday? What would mark the end of the weekend? Is it another alcohol-free drink, or is it a bath? Is it going for a walk to puncture that end of the day? Is it about getting some friends on a Zoom call? Is it about planning a really nice meal that you're going to cook from scratch? It could be many things, but you know that you can begin to plan in things that deal with those triggers. So I think, you know, the vital skill to any change is recognizing that change isn't linear, that just because you think you failed, you haven't. You've actually done a lot of learning, and that you can pick yourself up and get yourself back on track. But doing some planning to do that, taking what you've learned to do that back into that plan is really, really important. So it's a really vital skill, and it will serve you well. Nail it and get it right for changing your drinking. Then, like me, it will serve you well for exercise and also for diet. So these aren't unusual skills, but it is really about a switch of mindset, isn't it? Away from, you know, I've failed, I'm terrible, I'm written off, I can't do this, I'm just destined to always be like this, to recognizing that this is a process that you're learning each time, and each time you can get better and stronger, and the more that you do it, the more successful you're likely to be. But I know you can do it, right? Because I did it, and I never thought that would be possible. I did think I was that write-off. I did think I was destined to be like this forever. I did believe that I was going to die early because of the amount I was drinking. But look, here I am now, and now I'm talking to you about bloody balancing on balls. I mean, tell me that 9 years ago, I'd have laughed in your face. I couldn't have been that person. So you can be the person you want to be. So resilience, picking yourself up, starting again, and doing it with a plan in place is absolutely the vital skill for behavior change. And now I'm going to stop before I fall off this ball. Okay, right. End podcast.